Hey everyone, and welcome to the Beyond Life and Fitness podcast. I'm Cheryl Patton.
And I'm Megan Prince.
We started this podcast as a way to connect with more people who are struggling to fit it all in. The workouts, the food, kids, work, and relationships.
We know that we're not perfect, but we hope that through our struggles and our mistakes and our failures and our successes that we can help more people through their challenges and be successful. So if you want some tips and tricks to help you along your journey to be the best version of yourself, then this is it.
So today we're going to do a quick chat about labels and how either you have labeled yourself or how others see you, and then you've kind of put those labels onto yourself, right? So you were just giving a really good example, so I'm going to let you reshare that. Which I know we should really hit record before we hit record, then get all the
things
all the pre-chat in. You were talking about the one with the chips and the one like the example even with yourself when you're coming out of the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when we were at church this weekend, they said take 3 words that people would describe you as, and what are those 3 words? So then it makes you think, what words would people describe me as? So if people were to describe me, they probably would describe me, which also is a really hard thing for me, probably super mom, fit, all of these things. Mm-hmm. And that's a really hard thing because for me, when it comes to being a super mom, when they label me as that, that to me says, well, I shouldn't ever ask for help,
right? Because
I'm super mom.
Right.
So I have a really hard time asking for help when that's a label that other people have put on me. And obviously I've, what's that word?
You just feel like you need to live up to that expectation.
I've lived up to these expectations or these labels that people have put on me because I thought I had to. Or when you're pregnant and you're recovering and I'm fit. So I feel like, oh my gosh, well, I need to be fit right after the baby because if I'm not, then that's not who I am. That's what people think I am. I have to be that. So I think when we think of labels that people put on us, we take those on and then that becomes our identity rather than thinking, what do I think about myself? What do I want people to see me like? And who do I want to be? And we can change those labels, but we have to really then push out what it's hard. It's really hard because like we had talked about before, when somebody says anything to you in life, like I think about 3 kids and you say, well, you're the funny kid.
Right.
And then that kid takes on, well, I always have to be funny, or
right.
I'm nice, so people think I'm nice. And then I'm like, well, what if I don't feel like being nice one day? But then that label for me was like, oh, well, I have to show up being nice all the time because that's what people think about me. And this is what in my head nice means, is just always being friendly, always talking, always sacrificing and doing things for other people at the detriment of yourself.
Right.
And so I'm like, I've stopped doing that because I'm like, just because I don't want to, go and help my friend move for 8 hours a day because I have my own house to do, that's not mean. That's just
you looking after your priorities.
Looking after your priorities, yourself, and then because then you don't get resentful of everybody else when you're so I think when we are talking about labels, especially when it comes to fitness, I can't be fit, I'm big boned, I can't follow a meal plan. What other things, like I'm trying to think of things that parents have said to kids when they're younger, and then you can't eat that,
right? Yes.
You shouldn't eat
that. Don't eat that.
That's not that I'm not guilty of saying all these things, because I have one of those children that will like eat the whole bag of popcorn. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't really have I'm just like, I feel like we need to talk about portion sizes, Penny. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's too much. But also I'm in saying that as being a parent.
Yes.
Me saying that to her also is putting a label on things. So we can't go through life without labeling things. Yeah. We can't. Yeah. It's not possible.
But I think it's also the person who could be receiving that information now has the choice. Do I accept that? Or do I'm like, yeah, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat the whole bag. Like, who cares? Like, this doesn't bother me.
I think it depends on the personality of the person, right?
100%.
Of how they're going to interpret that. Because I have some friends that you would say something to and they're like, well, I could give 2 flying craps what you think, and that doesn't change how I feel about myself. And then other friends where you could say one thing to them and you could just break them down because they're so easily affected by things, right?
Affected. You could even use the word possibly manipulated.
Really?
By the words.
Yeah. And so you have to be like super careful what you say to people, especially I think kids. So when people come for fitness and stuff, when you're already labeling things like,
I don't have time, I have a busy schedule, I don't want to have to eat this.
I don't want to have to eat this.
I don't want to have to do, cardio this many days a week or for this long, or I don't want to have to lift heavy weights. Or
I don't want to get bulky.
Yeah, it could be a plethora of things. It could be anything really, and then that's the story that you are telling yourself as to why you cannot change. You cannot take yourself to where you want to go mentally, but you're not allowing yourself to do it.
And I feel like people would say that is like excuses, and I totally think that. But then, like we talked about it before, mentally, it's a mental game in your head, because if you believe that about yourself, you literally will sabotage yourself or procrastinate against doing any of it, no matter what. So it's like this game in your head where you want that, but you think that about yourself, and there's no way your body will allow you to align with that goal unless you actually believe that it's even possible.
Yeah, again, like your body won't go where your mind won't allow it to go.
Yeah, and that's like super powerful. Yeah, and your mind has to be set there first, right? Like I think when I used to compete, my biggest thing was thinking about being on stage and winning first and being a champion when you're training.
Right.
Like that's just how I thought. I just thought this is I can do this. I can do this. Anybody can do this. I got this. And then I think if you don't think like that, then there's no way you're ever going to be able to cross that boundary of making a change. Making a change means changing your mindset first. And you can't align yourself with a goal if you think
you can't do it.
If you can't do it, how?
Yeah.
I literally am just like, you can do anything, because there's so many things. I can compete, I can do meal planning, I can do all that stuff. There's so many other things in my life that I literally procrastinate or don't do. I could do them, but in my mind, I'm still telling myself, I can't do them, I don't have time, I don't, for a lot of other things, like this is something I can do, but I understand it for other stuff with other people that I'm just like not aligned with. This is who I am as a person, so then I just don't believe it. I'm trying to think of
and I think that's sort of the biggest thing when we deal with clients who are wanting to get healthier, lose extra weight, get stronger. It's almost proving to them that they are worth the change and that they are worth the effort to change habits that got them to where they are now that are no longer serving them. And then that's why they're seeking us out in the first place.
Yeah. And how did I get the label of being fit? How did people label me as being fit?
I remember somebody telling me once, she's so, like, to me, she's like, she's so strong. Nothing bothers her. Nothing can affect her. So I have a hard time asking for help.
Or crying.
Time showing emotions in front of people,
because you're supposed to be that strong person. Somebody set that up for you, that you're supposed to be strong.
Got it.
And also, like the fit thing, I got labeled fit because I worked my friggin' ass off to look fit. It wasn't like you get the label on you, set on you for things that you've really like worked hard for, right? I've worked hard to be that super mom that never asked for help, so I get that label. I don't want it anymore. I would love to give it away to somebody else, because it would be nice to be that mom that always needs help and can't handle her own life. It would be really nice to be that mom, because
that goes to the gym for time for yourself, a place to just drown out the noise and just do something that feels good and then move on.
But I have some friends that literally will ask their friends for help, because if it's a crazy busy day and they have a million things going on, they literally can't handle it. So friends will jump in and help them because they know you can't handle it. It's too much for you. Whereas I'm like, I can do any kind of day ever, even if it's insane, because I literally have put that on myself. Nobody will jump in and help me. Even I have to specifically say, Mom, I need you to come down and help, right? Because I think people in general are used to me just being able to handle it all.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, deep down inside, I'm not really. I'm just doing it because that's who
you are. You've been labeled as
the super mom. I'm like, I'm not really, though. I mess up all the time. My daughter's down here. She'll tell you that I do. Right, Liz? Okay. But yeah, I think when we can't So clients that are procrastinating and self-sabotaging themselves will see, right? Lose 2 pounds in a week, and then they go out for dinner with all of their friends or whatever, and then they drink, and then they have wine, and then they have it, and they're back
up 3 pounds.
Up to 3 pounds.
Okay, well, it's water retention.
Because they also don't want to be the one who's not at the dinner table eating all the stuff their friends are eating. Because then that's hard. They're the fun friend that always drank the wine and had the dessert with them.
And then again, so that is like, I think you had mentioned this before we started hitting record too. Like, if it's something that you really want to change, deep down inside, you're kind of done with that either particular behavior or habit, it is something that you need to say out loud so that people know that you're moving on from that particular behavior. Right?
Yeah.
I think it's on a very much more mild level, not nearly to the extent of, someone who say is, with some sort of an addiction, but that's the thing. Like, they go into like a group setting in order to say out loud to a group of people, this is my problem. You're sort of saying this is a habit I no longer want to do anymore, right? Like, I'm good now to be the DD. Right? I'll be the DD from now on because I don't want to, like, I'm good not to drink, or I'll just have the 1 glass and then I'll be fine.
Then they're like, what? You used to be the fun one. You used to be the one that was, and you're like, no, I'm changing myself.
And that's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. And sometimes it means firing some friends.
Losing some friends, losing people around you when you're trying to make changes, it will make people mad. It will make people feel uncomfortable.
But I think it's going to bring other people into your life
that are more aligned with who you are.
Correct.
Yeah. I did read a thing the other day that was like, life is about endings. There's ending of friendships. There's ending of marriages. There's ending of jobs. There's ending of goals. There's ending of school. Everything's ending to open up a new chapter to something else too. So just because you're not hanging out with those friends that don't align with your goals, that are going to the bars, that are, out every single night late, that doesn't necessarily mean like you're a bad person or you're stuck. It just means now I'm upgrading to, like, if you wanted to do a marathon or something, you would start joining a running group. You wouldn't join a swimming group because it wouldn't make any sense for you. You wouldn't get to that goal because you're not surrounding yourself with what you want to do. So if we want to change, then you have to surround yourself with, if somebody wants to get fitter, surround yourself with clients that are doing the same thing, that are getting out walking, that are, because people in regular life aren't going to help you because they're still going out for dinners, they're still doing stuff, right?
Yep. And it's not that you have to, that they'll never talk to these people again or whatever. Like, it could be that it's just you need to move away for a little bit, and then who knows? They could be watching from the sidelines, everything that you're doing, changing, improving. And then that might be the catalyst that they need in order to do the exact same thing. So, holding yourself back because somebody thinks you should be acting, behaving, doing this way or this thing, it holds you, it can hold you back in all areas of life.
Yeah, so it's more just like not taking on those labels, not worrying about what people think. Like for me, I'm the only person in my family that goes to church. And I pretty much started off going by myself. And after one friend invited me. And now I have like 3 or 4 friends that come with me almost every weekend because they saw what happened to me, how I was living my life differently, what I was giving out into the world now. And they're like, I want to do what she's doing. So now they come with me. But at first, I was kind of on my own a little bit. And still I am with my family. They don't go to church, but I wake up every Sunday, even when they're here, and I'm like, I'm going to church, and that's okay. But then you have friends and family who will also accept you if you don't align with some things. Like some friends during prep would be like, okay, well, in 3 weeks, we'll see you and we'll all go out for dinner again because you're doing your own thing. Right? Some people will disown you. Some people will be like, no, that's okay. Like, I'm not going to hate you because you can't go out for dinner. We're just going to revisit how we spend our time together, right?
Exactly.
And not worry so much.
Labels can be mindful of labels that you have either placed on yourself or, things that other people have maybe told you and you've put on to yourself. If they're holding you back from things that you want to do or want to change or become. Thanks everybody for listening today, and we truly appreciate you. And let us know what your biggest takeaway was today, and if you have any questions you want answered on the podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast to automatically receive your episodes and to help us reach more listeners. We would love to connect with you on our socials, either Facebook or Instagram, with links in the show notes. Till next time, keep taking those small steps towards your best life.